Open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at bluewhalecarwashaz.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more savings. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. Blue Whale Car Wash, proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
100-68. The Arizona Wildcats beat the Belmont Bruins at McHale Center. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show. David Kelly, J.W. Madden joining you. Number to get in on the program tonight, 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. I don't think so technically, Caleb Love was the first player this season to score 20 or more points.
Yep.
I don't think anybody had Mo Krivas in that conversation of being among the first players to score 20 points.
You know who did, though? His teammates, because they were looking to him early and often. Every time Krivas was on the court, they were trying to get him the ball in scoring position. It was awesome.
Well, and again, the kid just has tremendous touch.
Yeah.
Tremendous touch around the basket. Finished this ball game, did Mo Krivas, 8 of 10 from the floor, 20 points, 9 rebounds, so came just short of getting his first double-double in just 18 minutes. 20 points in 18 minutes tonight for the Arizona Wildcats. Just tremendous touch. Knows what he wants to do when he gets the ball in the low block and knows how to execute it.
Quick. I mean, really quick release, too. You could tell, a lot of American bigs, DK, they might not have other bigs in their high school conference or in their state even to go up against on a regular basis, right? It's kind of a one-off because America's game is moving out to the three-point line. 7 feet, look at Cat. 7-foot tall guys generally want to shoot threes. Victor Wembanyama, 7'5", he wants to shoot threes. So guys who are coming over here from Europe, I think the style of the game over there is much more inside out, like Coach Lloyd likes to play. And you could just tell watching Krivas play. You could tell that he's had a lot of experience. European leagues tend to have those 16-year-old going up against grown men in their mid-20s and so forth. And so you could just tell he's really worked on he has a great feel for where the defender is on either side. And he's got the shoulder fakes, can obviously hook over each shoulder. Just unbelievable polish for a post player like that. You just don't see post moves from a young man like that in the college game. It's been a long time. That's like 80s style, DK, like the guys who are born to be in the post and do damage.
Tale of two guards in this ball game. Caleb Love just going downhill in the first half of this ball game. And to me, I think, we talked about, his struggles in shooting the basketball in this season, this early part of the season. But I think his game is better and his shot is better when he begins the game trying to take the ball to the basket, which he did in this particular contest tonight.
Yeah, I think a lot of scorers are like that. You see the ball go through the basket a few times, even get fouled, go to the free throw line, undefended, and just that 15-foot shot. I think Caleb's release on his jumper is really consistent and smooth. I like it better when he's in a either catch and shoot or gather position where he gets his feet under him. The off-balance stuff, and that's going to be a lot of late shot clock stuff, but as far as from distance goes, I really like Caleb Love when he gets his feet underneath him. He's clearly an unbelievably good scorer, best scorer we've seen here in a long time. As far as a shooter is concerned, I think those numbers and the percentages go up the more balanced he is on his shot. And in an offense like this, with threats all over the court, DK, he's going to find himself, how many open shots did he have tonight? And again, Belmont obviously has a little less athleticism than Arizona's going to see from a lot of other opponents this year. But still, I mean, he found himself in open spots because the defense has to choose. And there's so many threats on the court. Caleb Love's going to find himself open. That wide open dunk off the out of bounds play, that was just a missed assignment. But a lot of those threes, 3 for 5 tonight from deep, I feel like three of those 5 shots at least were wide open.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Getting quickly, it's going to be a quick show tonight. We got to be back early tomorrow. Our coverage of U of A football begins at 8 a.m., so I need to be down at the mall between 7 and 7:30.
It takes about X number of minutes to get you home.
Exactly.
And,
You know, I gotta get a little bit of beauty rest. I don't want to be looking all ugly for the people out on the mall. But those are the numbers to get in on the program if you want to chat about this one tonight. 100-68. Again, the second half, we talked about the first half, Caleb Love in terms of the guards. The second half, it was Colin Boswell, 4-5 from 3, just doing a little bit of everything. Shooting the basketball, defending, facilitating. 6 assists for him, 6 assists for Caleb Love. The assists were a little bit low early, but they kind of started to creep back up to where we normally are used to seeing them. 22 assists on 37 made baskets tonight for the Arizona Wildcats. This again, about as crisp as you'll want to see this team play. The only thing, and I'm not going to say I'm concerned yet about it, but Umar's touch is not there right now.
He had the air ball, the free throw, and then he missed a few bunnies around the basket for sure.
Yeah.
Remember, he had that issue, had a ligament issue, I think it was, in his thumb last year, I believe. And we haven't really heard a lot of word about that. He's always had pretty solid hands down there. It felt like it was slipping a little bit. You know, when you're missing bunnies like that or your air ball and free throws, it's just that touch. You've lost a little bit of that touch. I do want to point out there was 14-14 at one point in this game.
Yeah.
And that was with 15:34 left in the first half. Do you know what happened then? A senior made a basket and one. Then a senior made a three-pointer. Then a senior made a offensive rebound layup. Then a senior made a three-pointer. Then a senior drove and scored. And then a senior made a driving layup and scored. A senior made a three-pointer. A senior made a free throw. And then they scored. And that was a 16-0 run just by the seniors. DK, yeah. We talked about the way they ended that Duke game.
Right.
There's a lot of quality players on this team. And having the luxury of those 4 guys who have played so many minutes, when you get down to it and the team is kind of struggling to find a good shot or maybe missing bunnies around the basket, you know that one of those 4 guys is going to step up in those moments. And it's just impressive to see. I mean, that run happened so fast. It was like 3 minutes, and it was a 16-0 run.
Yeah,
in 3 minutes.
You make me want to pull out the old Rich Rod videos when he would be yelling, "Senior, senior,
right.
senior."
It's just amazing. And I'll tell you this, I'd love to do a whole segment or 2 on the afternoon show about this sometime, but what a luxury. I grew up, David Kelly, in the era of, as you did, as a basketball manager. And back in those days, you know what happened? Guys came in, they sat, and they learned. And then they learned more. And then by the time they were juniors and seniors, they were the stars of the team, and they were busy teaching the freshmen the ropes and how the system worked and great programs like the one Lute Olson ran for so many years. Judd Bushler sat on the bench for 3 years and then was all conference, right? That idea of having those upperclassmen to share their wisdom about what they know about the college game along with the coaching staff, but it's really those older players. It makes such a healthy program when you've got a willing youth. I mean, look at Krivas, KJ, a lot of these guys coming in, clearly they want to learn. Having those 4 seniors show them the ropes and then show them by example, going on a personal 16-0 run there in a 14-14 game with the Belmont team that admittedly was shooting well from the outside at the time. I think they were 4 for 6, and that's why it was a 14-14 score. But again, having senior leadership, having guys, upperclassmen that can do that thing, and it's going to make for such a great season. I can't wait. I can't wait for the next game. Let's get Sunday here already.
Did not shoot free throws very well tonight. 67%. I'd like to see that be a whole lot better, but of course, still a 32-point win for Arizona. All right, we are streaming this show video-wise. You can only see me. You still can't see J-Dub. I can maybe put him up on that camera that is working. And you might be able – actually, no, I can't because I don't have that camera hooked up on this particular broadcast. It's only on the afternoon broadcast. So You can't see J-Dub tonight, but you can hear him. You can see me. We're streaming video on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch at Wildcats Radio 1290. We're on Twitter at Wildcats 1290. And then you can stream the audio on tell Alexa, hey, Alexa, turn on Wildcats 1290. I want to listen to the fellas talk about the game for a little bit before I go to bed because I got to get up early and tailgate tomorrow. So do that. Tell Alexa to turn us on, and then you can just tell Alexa to turn us off when you're done listening. As well as on the iHeartRadio app and our website, Wildcats Radio 1290, and our app, Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's get a break in. And, wait till you hear what Tommy Lloyd said in his press conference tonight. Oh, goodness. He had a few things to say about, the announced crowd was apparently larger than it was Monday night by about 14,688. But Tommy was not necessarily that happy with the energy. And I think this may also go back to Monday night when there was only 12,000 people in the building. But he had a directive for all of you that have season tickets. As soon as we have that available, we will play that for you. Hopefully they'll make it available tonight. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. Wildcats beat Belmont 100-68. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer-installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
tip-off time of 4 p.m. Our coverage on that day will begin at noon with the network taking over at 3 o'clock, UT Arlington and Arizona. Let's check out, can we do the highlights here?
Let's do it.
Let's hear the highlights from this ball game tonight down at McHale Center.
So to Ballo, back to Larson. Pella will drive it in the lane, throw it for Ballo, who slams it down. The ball on the floor. And Ballo steals the inbounds pass away from the baseline. Kick it out to Boswell. No look over to Love. He's going to drive it down the paint to the basket and lay it in. Don't settle for a double team in the corner. Off to Bradley. Fire it to Larson. Left side Love. Love driving inside. Kick it off to Johnson. Put it up. Score it. And he's Johnson. Keyshot will back it up. Out to Love. Shot clock at 14. Love spots for another deep three. Good. Right. Pella looking inside. Goes to Krivas. Wide of the lane. Working his way in on Dia. A little shoulder fake. Jump hook up and good. The little so far in this game. Jaden Bradley will bring it down for the Wildcats. Out top for Love. Back to Bradley, left wing. Hook it corner, and there's a three ball. Good. Kick it high now for Johnson. Key shot, one bounce. Boswell. Deep three is up and in for Caleb Boswell. Arizona with the lead. Cats with the ball. Love. Around a high screen from Ballo. Kick it up. Boswell. Three ball up and good. Kylan Boswell. To Davidson. Davidson will shake and bake. Stolen away by Boswell. A 4-on-1 to Larson. Pella to the bucket and lay it in. Near steal. Dia under 10 to shoot. Ball knocked away. Stolen this time by Bradley. Jaden on a breakaway. He'll lay it in. Arizona's defense. Boswell bounced to Love, and he slams it home, driving down the lane. Bound tipped over to Boswell from Krivas, and here goes Boswell on the run for three. It's good in transition. On Walker, throw it out top for Love. He'll drive the paint, bounce pass inside. Krivas just drops it in. Speaking out top, Moraskis over to Borovichinen. Pump fake the three. Drive to the bucket. Nobody stopped him, and he slams it home.
First half, so good to see that cleaned up.
Well, Krivas will take a rest. There's a steal. Love takes it away. 3-on-1 break to Johnson. Key shot. Two-hand jam.
Behind the back, dazzle razzle from Caleb to Keyshot.
Closely, gives it to Ballo, back to Larson.
And the Wildcats win it by a score of 100-68 over the Belmont Bruins. Again, Caleb Love, 20 points, 8 of 12 shooting, 6 assists for the Wildcats. Mo Krivas, 20 points, 8 of 10 shooting, 9 rebounds for Arizona in this ball game. 5 players in double figures for Tommy Lloyd's boys tonight. Kylan Boswell hit 4 threes to finish with 14 points. He had 6 assists in the game. 12 for Umar Ballo on 5 of 9 from the floor. 12 points, 7 rebounds for Umar Ballo. And Keyshot Johnson had 11 points, 4 of 7 from the floor. He had 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Again, Arizona 22 assists in the ball game. They turned it over 14 times tonight, and they win it by a score of 100-68.
They only had about 8-9 turnovers, and then there was a stretch there with about 7 minutes to go. They turned the ball over like 5 out of 6 possessions.
Yeah.
So that's a bulk of those 14 total turnovers. So they took pretty good care of the ball except for that stretch.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on the program, let's give you tonight's Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game, and that is going to go to none other than Moteus Krivas. 9 rebounds tonight to lead the Arizona Wildcats, just 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Mo Krivas is your Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game. Window Depot, lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. So an outstanding performance for Mo Krivas, his career high tonight. 20 points. We had the poll earlier this week, in case you missed it, who was going to be the first Wildcat to score 20 points. The majority, I believe, if I look here, said
Caleb, right?
Caleb Love,
Yeah.
and it was, in fact, Caleb Love, who got to 20 points first tonight. But then
He
also
almost
Mo Krivas got there
to
as well.
20 at half. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
had
had 15. Yeah, 15 in the first
he
half.
scored a lot of points there in the first half. Super efficient, too, 8 for 12. My favorite thing about Mo Krivas is just how everybody, and again, I know the goal for the guards is to look for the bigs who post up strong and command position and put their hand up. That's how it works. But I love it how all the players, to a man, whenever Mo Krivas got in the game, they were just trying to get him and trying to feed him the ball. I think that we've heard all the players talk about how good he is in practice. There's a confidence level, right, at this stage where knowing that you can do it is different than doing it time and time again and having that, innate confidence in yourself because you've already, been there, done that. And I just love that all the players were looking for Mo Krivas on the block every time down.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why not? You put it in there, and good things are going to happen. I mean, I don't know what he's. We'll have to check and see what his average is on the season in terms of from the floor. But obviously, he shot 80% tonight. Those are good. Those are good averages to have.
Let me paint a picture for listeners and you, DK. But Mo Krivas, for the most part, is going to be going up against backup centers. Okay, because Oumar Ballo is going to be the starter. He's a senior. He's obviously missed a few bunnies in there, but for the most part, Mo Krivas is going to be going up against backup centers, and a lot of teams don't have one center, let alone multiple centers that they can throw on the court. So it's going to be a lot of situations where he's got mismatches, and clearly tonight that was an undersized team. But those players that on Arizona's side, they know better than anybody, DK, what Mo Krivas is capable of. They've seen it ever since he got here on campus and on that trip, to Israel and Abu Dhabi.
So he's now 16 of 28 on the season from the field, 57%. So that is fifth on the team right now behind KJ Kylan, Conrad Martinez, and Oumar Ballo. So really KJ, Kylan, and Oumar as the primary players on this team so far. All right, let's check in and see how our bets went tonight.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, it was a 24-point line tonight in favor of the Arizona Wildcats. Do we have recordings on this tonight, J-Dub, or no?
We do, but it's so long. We're so long-winded in the pregame.
Yeah.
So
all right, we'll just talk about it.
I got the keys recorded and ready to go.
We'll just talk about the best bets then. You and I laid the 24 tonight. Kelvin did not. So you and I are cashing tickets on that side as the Wildcats won this game by 32 points. The over-under on this one was 171.
A lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. We all played the under on this. And came in winners on that as well, but only by 3 points.
Yeah, it was I think it was 90-60 with about 3 minutes to go, and I was just thinking, man, they got to score 20 more points to get over this number. But yeah,
and they almost did. They almost did. Came in at 168 on a line that was 171 over under. So once again, J-Dub gets 2. I get 2 tonight. But you're still, so I think you're now 7-1 to my 4-4. So still three wins ahead of me.
I like Kelvin's logic. And Belmont, super proud, program. Obviously, they've had nothing but success. And my logic was just that Arizona's depth. There's so many guys, DK, on this team, 7 through 10. When they get in the game, you know what they're doing? They're not just going through the motions. They're trying to get more minutes. They're trying to play the system. They're trying to play as hard as possible. Coach Lloyd talking about that effort and energy. So there's not going to be a big drop-off. Those guys who come in off that bench, they mean business. And so that's the only reason I thought that would go over is just because, again, Mo Krivas, he needs game time. So he's not going to come in there and just kind of stand around. They're going to look to move the ball and try to score within the offense.
We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 players with double-digit minutes tonight. The lowest were 10 for Philip Budavician, and I thought he'd get in and play a little bit more than he did tonight. And Paulius Morauskas had 11 minutes in the ball game. So that was pretty much the rotation for this one. Paulius struggled from the floor, making just 1 of 6 shots for 4 points.
The crazy thing is we've gone this long. We haven't even mentioned Kylan Boswell, who goes 18 minutes, 14 points, 4 for 5 from 3.
Yeah, we mentioned him.
No, mentioned, but we've been talking about a lot of the other guys because there's so many guys in this team. That's what I'm saying. That stretch where he was, that quick release he's got. I know Coach said coming out of high school he was one of the best shooters he had seen. He came in with an injury. The form was a little bit altered. But, man, his release is so quick and so repeatable. I just think it's going in pretty much every time it leaves his hands when he gets balanced. He's just a really exceptional shooter to go along with all the other superlatives you can throw at Kylan Boswell.
Indeed. I mean, again, like I mentioned earlier, just when he got going in that second half, he was shot making, he was distributing, he was defending, got a big steal that led to a basket at the other end. So he, again, can do it at both ends of the floor and in transition, which is going to be so key for this team moving forward. 100-68, the final in favor of the Arizona Wildcats. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. We'll get a break in here. We'll have much more coming up for you. We'll review our keys to the game. We'll head back down to McHale and let you hear from the players and Tommy Lloyd. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Those are today's best bets. They're brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog Inn Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Rams Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing, businesses, since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double.
Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona beats Belmont 100-68 to move to 4-0 on the season. 20 points for Mo Krivas, 20 points for Caleb Love. All right, I mentioned after the ball game, Tommy Lloyd had some pretty pointed comments for you who have season tickets to this program. Now, I was not at the game tonight. I stayed back here to work on the football pregame show for tomorrow. I was at the game on Monday night, and there were a lot of empty seats, only 12,000 people, and apparently the energy right now inside the building is not to Tommy Lloyd's liking, and this is what he had to say after the game tonight, the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats.
Hey, I would like to say, though, for one, I'm thankful, for the fans coming out today. And I know it's a 9 p.m. game on a Friday, and there's a lot going on. One of the gaps we still have to grow in our program is we have a lot of season ticket holders. And I'm thankful for the ones that come, but we had a lot that still aren't coming. And I don't know why, for me. So, my message to the fans would be, we're thankful for their season tickets. We're thankful for their support. This isn't a money grab. Okay, this is an energy grab. And we need more effort and energy out of some of our season ticket holders that have tickets, whether they have to move them to their friends, give them back to the school for someone else to go. We need people that have season tickets to make sure people are sitting in those seats during games. That would be my ask for the fans. Being a little bit nitpicky, but hey, we coach our team with high standards. I think we should have high standards for our fans too, because this is one of the most special places to play in the country. So we need to double down on that and really take those next steps. I'm thankful the administration made some adjustments on some pricing for some tickets. That means a lot to me. And, I feel great the direction we're going. But, my message to those fans on Sunday, find a way to get down here. This is a special group of guys. We got a special program. Come be a part of it. Because the coolest thing in life is, being part of a group that's participating with great effort, and our fans can do the same thing. And so the fans that came did a great job tonight, but let's get those fans that have season tickets, I hope they're feeling guilty for not coming and maybe not moving them to a friend because, this is a special place, and there's so many people in this community that would want the opportunity to come here and that maybe can't afford it or don't know their tickets available. Let's make sure those people are included in our program too. All right. That was a good mic drop.
People sitting in all areas, so probably a sellout, I think.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
But you can feel that it's not quite
Well,
full.
listen, there's a gap between our season ticket holders that have tickets and actual people that are scanning tickets and coming to the game. That's the gap we need to fill. Obviously, you always want to sell every ticket possible. In our program, for the most part, we'll do a great job over the course of the season doing that. But, we also need to make this an incredible experience. And the more people that want to come participate in it, the better experience it's going to be. So I just want to see those people that have season tickets that aren't coming, but let's figure out why. You have tickets. You've spent the money. Thank you. We of course, we need revenue, but we also need energy and atmosphere, and those types of things are important too. And it's great here. It's one of the best in the country. Why not take the next step and put it over the top and make it the best? And that needs to be the standard. We're doing everything in our program. It's about how we play, how we cheer for the team, all that stuff. Thanks, Coach. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, Tommy Lloyd right there after the ball game. What do you think about that? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you've got season tickets, but you're not going to the games, not going to these early season games, are you not able to give those tickets away? Are you not? I'm sure. I would think you can give those tickets away.
Okay, so this is a conversation going on for 50 years, and the real thing is the success of the program has led to an older crowd because the tickets are bought by a lot of older people, and snowbirds have had it forever. And the issue here is 9 p.m. games. The problem, the big key you should listen to right there is moving on to a friend. So if you're older and live in the foothills and it's a trek to get down there, this is, trust me, 45 years have been in McHale Center, and the conversation has been going on for a long time as far as the age of the crowd. And those people have earned those seats, and all those people have been there, and loyal fans, very smart fans, very knowledgeable fan base, I will put it that way. These 9 p.m. tip-offs, DK, especially on the verge of a noon kickoff tomorrow for football, I know a lot of those people stayed at home because of the time. I'm not talking about the reasons for that, and they most definitely 100% need to move that ticket to somebody. You know how many people in this town
would want to go,
would love to be in McHale Center to watch this team play?
Absolutely.
All of them. 100,000 people would like to be in that building. So if you do have tickets and you can't make it to that game, just find a way to get somebody into those seats who wants to make a lot of noise for this team because they deserve it.
Yeah, there's no question about that. And obviously, one of the reasons that this game was late was because of the fact that there was a volleyball game. Prior to that, Arizona Volleyball played Oregon State, and that was a 5 o'clock match this afternoon. Late afternoon, the Wildcats lost to the Beavers by a score of 3-0. And again, it goes back to also the fact that, you know, how late these schedules are coming together nowadays.
Right.
I mean, we sat here into late September, early October, I believe it was, waiting to find out what the schedule was going to be.
Yeah, well, I mean,
in a lot of instances,
they added FAU real late in that process.
Exactly, and you know, so a lot of these games were put together late. Obviously, we mentioned earlier the Southern game was actually supposed to be in Baton Rouge. That game had to get switched back here after the Florida Atlantic game came into play, and so that was one of the reasons that you get. Normally, you get a 9 o'clock late start, maybe later in the season when an ESPN or one of the nationals is involved, not necessarily a Pac-12 network situation.
Well, it's pretty typical for Pac in this way in that they have the slot for the 6, 8, and 10 or type of thing. And so if Arizona gets slotted into the that's why Pac-12 After Dark exists. I will say this to the fans out there. The next games are 4 p.m., 2 p.m., 1 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m. So there's a lot of afternoon games, and then Alabama's a 9 p.m. game, and that's not here.
It's in Phoenix.
It's in Phoenix. But then after that, we start the Pac-12 slate. You've got California, that's 8:30. Utah is going to be at 6. USC, 8 o'clock. So, again, you're going to start getting into some later games. 9 p.m. is whatever, but I've said this for decades, David Kelly. My dad had season tickets here for 4 decades. And whenever we couldn't make games or he couldn't make games, it was always a matter of, you know, giving it off to somebody in the clinic who wanted them. There's a lot of passionate Arizona fans. So what I'm saying, fans, is look at the schedule. And if you see a lot of afternoon games, that's fine. But as soon as you see a home game, that's a late game that you think to yourself, especially on a particular night of the week, maybe Thursday night, you got to work in the morning, whatever. Just make sure those tickets get in the right hands to somebody who's going to go make noise.
Well, and I'm wondering again, I was not there today. I don't know what the energy was. It seemed like it was okay on TV. It wasn't great. Certainly wasn't like a manic situation. But still, there were 2,000 more people there tonight than there was Monday night. And I think a lot of what he says, I believe, goes back to Monday night because Monday night was a 6 o'clock start, and there was less than 13,000 people there. So I don't even know if he was really talking about tonight's game. I kind of believe that he was talking more about what happened on Monday night because I was a little surprised that at a 6 o'clock game on a Monday that there was less than 13,000 people there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I look at it simply. I look at it like this. Since 1985, this program has led the West Coast in attendance every single year, has averaged more attendance than any other school for a long time. Right? That's not this team, right? That's the last 40 years. This team, DK, hasn't had those crowds. And that's the weird thing about it is that it's almost like we're the Arizona fan base, we're the crowd, we always fill McHale, that's what we do. Taking that for granted as opposed to, hey, man, look how exciting this fun young team is to watch. I don't want to miss a game. Those guys are playing out of their minds. And look, he said it. This is an energy program, an energy team. I mean, look how much passion and hustle that those guys are playing out there with. And, I don't know. I know the average fan base in my experience. I've been to 300 plus, 400 games at McHale, tends to skew a little older.
Yeah.
And the energy levels that you're asking, again, older people have less energy. That's how that works. However, if you cannot make it to that game, just find somebody who can.
Yeah. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We can talk more about that as well. Let's get another break in. We'll come back, give you our keys to the game, what we thought needed to happen for this 32-point win to take place. Arizona knocks off Belmont 100-68. With JW Madden, I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal...
Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. Wildcats fans, how did today's Keys to the Game go for the Wildcats? Keys to the Game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, let's review those keys to the game from the pregame show. We'll start with Kelvin Ifan.
I personally still want to see them put a real big focus on defensive rebounding. I just believe that when you have smaller teams like this, you don't want to give them a couple opportunities on the board to end up rebounding and passing the ball out for three-point opportunities. So I think it's going to be very important to crash the boards on the defensive side of the ball. Another key, I think, with that size advantage is crashing the boards on the offensive side of the boards. Keyshawn Johnson, Ballo, both of those guys should be able to really eat up a lot of offensive rebounds and finish. But with that being said, I really want to see the guys attack the guards, attack the paint, and get paint touches, because if they miss those shots, it's easy rebounds for offensive rebound opportunities. So to me, those are going to be the hugest keys, and also continuing to just have that defensive pressure and living with that. We should always say during Miller time, defense travels. I want them to continue to have that type of defense that they played in North Carolina, because as we always said, it travels.
Only 4 offensive rebounds tonight for Belmont, so that was pretty good in terms of keeping them off the offensive glass. 17 for the Wildcats, and that was right around what we said. I think I believe I said 15. We'll hear here shortly that I wanted to see.
52 to 22
in the paint.
No, that was the rebound.
Oh, rebounding aid. Yeah, 52 to 22.
52 to 22.
And the Wildcats had 52 points in the paint. And again, we talked about in the first half. In terms of Caleb Love, he was indeed taking the ball to the hole, to the basket aggressively. All right, let's hear what J-Dub had to say.
They're not a very big team, Belmont. A very, very respect. I have nothing but respect for them, like Kelvin said. I'd like to see the Cats get 50 or more points in the paint. I just want to see the Cats live in the paint tonight. I think that'll be a key. Also, just like last game, I don't want to see a lot of three-point attempts. I don't want to see them settle. So I'd like to see less than 25. Also, hold them down offensively. I think Arizona's defense is already, we've talked a lot about it this year. So I'd like to see maybe, 45% or under. They shoot about 51, 52% on the season. And finally, Kate Tyson, a really, really nice young player. I really like his game. A lot of mid-range stuff, good stroke from the outside. And also Jacoby Gillespie. Those two guys are going to have to be the focus of this guard group from Arizona. And I'd just like to see them do everything they can, prepare for the schedule coming up. Make sure you take it out on the lead guards and the scoring guards for the other team. So those two guys, I'd like to see their numbers, down from their 19 and 16.7 average on the season.
Jacoby Gillespie, 13 points in the game on 5 of 9, hit a pair of threes in the contest. The Belmont Bruins shot just 44% from three-point land in this game, and the Wildcats did get that 50 points in the paint. As we just mentioned, they had 52.
Yeah, that's what Coach Lloyd does. If anybody's paying attention, he either is going to get post touches from his bigs or have the guards drive. The Zags did a lot of that as well, as far as like getting in the paint with the guard play. And with this team, DK, they're going to have a lot of finishers in that paint when the guards get there. So, yeah, not surprising with an undersized team coming in that they really did live in the paint tonight with the rebounds and those paint points.
Are you saying they're going to have many Lauri Markkanens? Many finishers?
Yes, they are. They do have a lot of finishers.
Can we call Lithuanians finishers?
It might be disrespectful. I'm not sure how those countries feel about each other. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
We don't want to mix that stuff up right there. All right, what did I say?
You said
anything intelligent?
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with what you said there, as well as when you, in terms of the offensive rebounding. You want to see that. I think that's when this team is at its best, when you got those bigs crashing the boards. And I think, again, 15 offensive rebounds is not too much to ask for. Sharing is caring. I think you want to continue to see the Wildcats pile up assists and share that basketball to the tune of 20-plus. I think that's going to be important in this ball game. And also, again, defensively, what you can do to kind of keep – you don't want these teams, these shorter teams to come in here and start scoring from behind the three-point arc. And so defending the three-point arc, getting out there, and not necessarily limiting the number of three-point shots that they take, but making sure that you get a hand in the face every time they do take that three-point shot and try to keep that percentage down under 35% in this ball game.
Not quite 35%, 44 as we mentioned. They took 27 threes, made 12 of those. And again, assists were 22 above 20. Offensive rebounds were 17 above 15.
And they were 7 out of 14 in the first half.
Yeah.
And that early on, I think it was 6 for 8, 6 for 9, something like that. They shot really, really well out of the gates. That kind of evened out as the game went on.
Isaiah Walker hit 3 out of 3. Malik Dia hit 3 out of 7. Keyshawn Davidson did end up playing 30 minutes in this game. We weren't sure how much he was going to play. He scored 5 points in the contest and dished out 7 assists. My guy who I said Jacob Gillespie who I said was going to be my pest of the game. He did have 3 steals. 3 steals and 3 assists and scored 13 points. So not a bad performance by him.
3 steals in 19 minutes.
Yeah.
Is especially against this guard lineup for Arizona is impressive.
100-68, the final score. Arizona wins it to move to 4-0. Take our final break here. Come back. We'll hear from the players and wrap this up with a scoreboard as well. Lots happening in college basketball, college football. Big bad loss in the Pac-12 for the Colorado Buffaloes tonight. We'll tell you a little bit about that, give you some high school football scores as well. It was a good night for Tucson. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show with J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The Meridian Wealth Management postgame show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again.
Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona beats Belmont 100-68 to move to 4-0 on the season. UT Arlington is coming up on Sunday. That'll be a 4:00 ball game, and you will hear that game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's head down to McHale Center and hear from Caleb Love and Motiz Krivas, who each had 20 points tonight in the win.
Questions for the guys?
Caleb, did you feel anything differently about this game compared to the other ones as far as your scoring or your opportunities?
I feel like I was a little bit more aggressive coming into this game. Just trying to find a easy way to, get my teammates involved and, let the game come to me. But obviously the floor was opened up a little bit more because, our offense is really fast and, it opens up a lot of things for all of us.
Before you got to 20, no one had gotten to that point on this team, but I think there had been 19 double-digit scores. How nice is that, knowing that someone can maybe have an off night or whatever? Because I think you had 9 in the previous, but there's going to be 5 or 6 guys that pick up.
No, for sure. We got a lot of weapons on this team, and so anybody can, get to it. Any given night, we can have multiple 20-point scores. So we got. So many different aspects of the game where we can, attack. So just knowing that, it's hard to guard us.
We talked about making smarter heat checks when you have a rhythm like that. What was that conversation like, and how do you think you can improve in just making smarter shots?
Yeah, when my shot is falling and things are going well, I'm in rhythm. Just knowing when the right shots to take and right plays to make. So he pulled me to the side on one of the shot. I think it was one of my air ball mid-range, and let the game come to you and settle in and things like that.
Motiz, Tommy's referred to you as Big Mo. Do you go by Mo?
Yeah, mostly. Yeah.
Mostly? Okay. How do you feel this game compared to the first 3? Are you starting to feel real comfortable with how this works here?
I mean, the same coaches and teammates trust me, and I just try to deliver. So maybe the previous games I missed some layups, some shots, and today I made them. So.
What's been the kind of process with you as far as that too? Like, you feel confidence-wise just differently too the last couple of games, or when did it kind of hit you?
I think we feel confident. Like, our team is good. We feel that we can do good this season, and just that.
I recall Tommy mentioning something maybe after the first or second game about just getting used to how much guys are going to be swatting at the ball and being tougher with it. Is that something that's taken some getting used to with how much people are going after it?
Yeah, it's really hard to get adjusted to it. It's way different from what I used to play.
So you say Big Mo. I mean, most people seem to just say Krivas. I don't know, but what do you prefer to be called?
I don't care.
Matthew.
So, because I mean, I don't know. Do people stumble on pronouncing your first name? Is that part of it, or I don't know what it's been like?
Yeah, it's hard to pronounce my first name, so they go by Mo or Krivas.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Caleb, I was wondering, you addressed it kind of, but just all the offense you had, and then the pass and behind the back, and alley-oop. What's your favorite out there tonight in a game like that? What do you feel best about, I guess?
It's fun playing basketball. So, just what I love to do. Just what we all love to do, and you gotta have fun with it. So, when I can, make those type of plays and show off my teammates and get them highlights as well, I'm all for that.
You feel like with Keyshawn, do you have a particular connection with him, or just knowing where he's going to be and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, for sure. Anytime I'm on a fast break, I know he's running with me, and so we got a great connection on and off the floor, great relationship. So anytime I see him, it's his name Showtime for a reason.
Mo, what have you learned most from playing alongside and against Umar in practice and in games?
I mean, he's a really good player. He gives me lessons every practice. He tries to help me, so really good that I have something like him by my side.
Can you give an example of a lesson maybe that he's given you?
I would say in post, some like to stay physical, like to not react on defense, to not react on shot fakes, do vertical contest. I would say this.
But how much has it helped adjusting to the program, just having Paulius alongside you that you've known over the years?
It's really helpful to have something who firstly speaks your language, and secondly, the most important, is really good friend. So it really helps in tough and fun times. Yeah.
Do you guys find you're talking about things, either differences in the college game that maybe you didn't see at home, or even just something the coaches are saying, trying to get a better grip on what's going on?
I would say the pace of the game, and just swiping on the ball, like everyone tries to steal it. So these two things would be the main.
So when you have a team like tonight, does it, a little bit smaller team too, seem like you can really take advantage of that? Did you kind of see that going into this, that you might have a chance to kind of...
I try to set my mindset like same for every game, and we respect every team.
My coach was saying that Umar was a little banged up too. I didn't know if that was a factor too, just knowing that you might need to do a little more tonight or anything like that. No?
All right, that is Caleb Love and Motius Krivas after the ball game tonight. Arizona wins it 100-68 over the Belmont Bruins. Let's get a check of your scoreboard.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, we'll start with Pac-12 basketball tonight before we get to Pac-12 football. Your finals tonight, number 6 Houston knocks off Utah 76-66. It was Oregon over Tennessee State at the Matthew Knight Arena in Eugene, 92-67. That's the Emerald Coast Classic, the campus game there. Stanford beat Eastern Washington 95-70 at Maples Pavilion. And in Las Vegas, how about this one? Washington knocks off Sean Miller and Xavier 74-71. The Musketeers have lost 2 in a row. That was the Continental Tire main event. Those are your Pac-12 football scores. Basketball scores. One Pac-12 football score tonight. It did not go well for the Colorado Buffaloes tonight in Pullman, Washington. The Cougars defeat Colorado 56-14.
That's a lot of frustration.
Wow.
That the Cougars showed. I mean, they were they 18th when Arizona saw them, and they're on a 5-game losing streak themselves. So, yeah.
Not a good hold back. Yeah, not a good night for Shadur Sanders. He was injured. I believe they've snapped the ball into his manly area, and that was, I think, pretty much the end of the night for Shadur and the Colorado Buffaloes, who will not be going bowling in the first year of the Deion Sanders regime in Boulder. All right, NBA tonight. Suns in the tournament, the in-season tournament, beat the Utah Jazz in the first of 2 games they'll play at Salt Lake City, 131-128. Kevin Durant scored 38 points tonight. Devin Booker finished with 28 points. High school football tonight. All of the local teams won, which is a great thing tonight. The South Point Catholic Lancers knocked off Gilbert Williams Field in 6A tonight by a score of 35-25. So South Point Catholic gets a rematch in the semifinal with Scottsdale Saguaro. They beat the SaberCats from Scottsdale Saguaro back on October the 27th, 21-14 on the road. This game will be in Tucson next Friday night, the state semifinals in 6A. Now down in 4A, we've got another rematch there as well. It was the Canyon del Oro Dorados coming from behind to beat AZ College Prep tonight, 33-27 in 4 overtimes up on the north side tonight. So the Dorados are into the state semifinals, and they will face Micah Mountain, the Thunderbolts beat Northwest Christian 38-17. So CDO and Micah Mountain, round 2. These two teams played back on October the 13th. CDO won that contest on their home field 17-15. They'll do it again Friday night at 7 p.m. And don't forget, Sabino will play in the state semifinals tonight. That'll be up in Mesa at 6 p.m. Sabino, the 4th seed, will take on Mojave. Mojave, the number 1 seed. That is also a rematch, as Sabino beat Mojave just 3 weeks ago on their home field in the regular season. So we've got a bunch of rematches in the state semifinals for high school football. It is going to be a fun thing. And real quick, in the AHL, it was the Coachella Valley Firebirds over the Tucson Roadrunners tonight at the arena, 3-2.
That's been the Pac-12 Scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
All right, final score again, 100-68. Some programming reminders. We will be on the air bright and early tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock from the U of A Mall, the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show for football. 8 o'clock, me, Glenn Howell, J-Dub, Calvin Efon will take you up to 11. Kickoff tomorrow, Arizona and Utah is 12:30, and then we'll have the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show coming up after the game. Arizona women's basketball tomorrow is on KTUC. They'll tip off at 12:30. Coverage with Derek Palmer from the Bahamas at 12:15 for the Battle for Atlantis. And it'll be Arizona and Memphis, and Arizona basketball back on Sunday, 4 p.m. against UT Arlington. Our coverage on Sunday begins at noon with the tip-off show. That's going to wrap it up for J.W. Madden, AJ Camacho, Dusty on the FM side. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to you for listening. Wild about the Cats. Arizona beats Belmont 100-68. For J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. Have a great morning. We'll talk to you in a few from the mall.
I'll drill it in from three-point land. Ask the Gumbies, ask the refs. We don't do justice, we're the best.